Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Deku was the digital savior part 1. If you guys enjoy this what if and want to see part 2, comment down below and let me know before I start. Please do support for more awesome content and leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also share this video with your friends and check out the description in my playlist. The author of the story, 𝗬𝗧𝗪 𝗧𝗏 from fanfiction. So let's start the video. Catching up part 1. Destruction. Ruins. Death. It's all that's left. Izuku, in his 𝐒𝐭𝐚𝐲 form, gets up from the ground. His breathing is heavy, he's tired. One of his hands is stopping the bleeding on his chest. Izuku's gaze focuses on what's in front of him. Izuku looks back. He can see Shinso, Suedou, Melissa, and Kaminari on the ground behind him, totally defeated. There are other people as well. Izuku grunts at the pain of his wound, looks down at his fist full of blood, his blood. Izuku looks ahead. There is a gigantic Digimon destroying everything in its path. Said Digimon is a 7-legged beast with 1 eye on each, and has an 8th eye on its head. There is a sword stuck in each of its legs, like Lucemon Satan mode. It wears the crowns of the 7 deadly sins on its head. Izuku looks at his fist one more time, clenching it hard, using what little strength he has left. Izuku goes and stands in front of the Digimon. The Digimon roars at him while Izuku closes his eyes for a second. Izuku opens his eyes showing determination. Izuku takes out his D-scan. Ancient Spirit Evolution. Izuku screams and transforms into 𝗬𝗪𝗓. Izuku summons Orochi as the Digimon roars at him again. They both look at each other and charge at each other, ready to continue fighting. Yeah, that's how things are now. But before seeing how it all ends, you should know what happened to get us here. Well, I guess I can tell you what happened. 1 year after Lucemon's defeat. Hey, hurry up and bring them. One guy said to another who was carrying 2 cages. All good. The second guy puts the cages on the ground. Yes, with this we already have everything, right? The first guy uncovers the cages and sees what they contain. They are 2 baby-level Digimon. Yes, with this we meet the required amount. The guy gets up and opens the curtains behind them, revealing several more cages with baby-level Digimon inside. The client pays very well for this. So this is where you hide, huh? A voice said. The 2 guys turn to look in the direction of the voice and see a boy. Said boy has short, undercut green hair, green eyes, and 4 diamond-shaped freckles on each cheek. Said boy is dressed in red tennis shoes, black pants, a green shirt, and a red jacket. Said jacket has the symbol of the digital fire element on the back. This boy is Izuku Midoriya, aka the digital hero Agni. Age 18. Quirk none. Digimon partner none. He possesses the digital spirits of fire. Student from UA High. Hero course class 3A. Izuku, after the defeat of Lucemon, has changed. There is no longer any sign of that nervous and shy boy. Now he has matured. Physically, he has grown from being one of the shortest in his class to being among the tallest. He is still the leader of the Chosen Ones. Although it has been a long time since they have worked as a team as such, the others still consider him the leader and the strongest among them. Couldn't you choose a nicer place to do your things? Izuku asked sarcastically. Don't get involved in other people's business, kid. The first guy said while transforming his hand into a sword. Boss, I don't think it's good to try to confront the boy. The second guy said. Why? He's just a boy. The first guy said. You don't know who he is. He is, the other guy said, but Izuku interrupted him. Don't worry, I prefer to show you who I am. Izuku said as he rolled up the right sleeve of his jacket, thus revealing a device on his forearm. Opening the cover of the device reveals that it is a touchscreen. D-terminal. Connected, 𝗬𝗏 appears on the screen of the device. Spirit Evolution. Izuku slides his ring and middle finger on the screen, and then extends his arm to the side, and is then surrounded by data. Inside the data, Izuku's clothes were stored inside the D-terminal. Izuku points the D-terminal forward, and it projects a screen showing 𝗬𝗏. The screen explodes in a blur of data that covers Izuku and transforms him into 𝗬𝗏. Then on his right shoulder, a different shoulder pad replaces the one he already had. The transformation is complete. The data disappeared, and instead of Izuku there was 𝗬𝗏. However, 𝗬𝗏 was strange, different. Although 𝐒𝐭𝐚𝐲 at first glance looks the same as always, now his suit under his armor, previously black, is now dark green. His eyes are now green, the same as Izuku's, and his hair, which previously reached his back, now it barely reaches his shoulders. His hair is still yellow, but the glow, previously red, is now green. Finally, the right shoulder pad was replaced with another gray one with the symbol of the Chosen Ones on it. The symbol of the Chosen Ones is a creation of their own. It is represented by the 6 symbols of the elements of each one. In the case of Izuku, the symbol of fire is in the center, and surrounding it in a circle are the other 5 ones but smaller. And now is when you realize who I am, Izuku said with a smile. The Digital Hero. The Lost Legends Opening. Song. Boruto Opening 8 Baku. From the shadows a seated woman appears. Kishibe. The place lights up and Kishibe smiles evilly as his eyes begin to glow blue. Nandomo Bokuro wa. As a flashback, the 6 Chosen Ones are seen fighting Lucemon during the First War. 𝗵𝗃𝗄𝐵𝗺𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 united at Lucemon. 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗲 As a flashback, it is now seen when 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗲 shoots Lucemon Satan mode a beam from his weapon, 𝗬𝗧𝗏. Doko made. In the present day, 𝗧𝗑, in his new 𝐒𝐻𝐢𝐽 form, is seen charging at someone unseen. 𝐒𝐻𝐢𝐽𝐝. The rest of the chosen ones, in their new forms of their respective human spirits, like 𝗧𝗑, charge against someone unseen. 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗏. That someone turns out to be Kishibe, who, when she sees the chosen ones, her appearance glistens a little while she smiles evilly and her eyes shine blue. 𝗧𝗪𝙢𝐼𝐳𝐻. The 6 chosen ones are seen in a group, 𝗧𝗑 in the middle, on his right Melissa and Suedou, on his left Shinso, Kaminari, and Toya. 𝗂𝐭𝐻𝐲. Now Kishibe is seen sitting on a throne while she has a sword resting on the left of her throne. To her right is Suedou, and behind her there are 6 figures in the shadows, each one with a sword. 𝐒𝐻𝐽𝐽𝐝𝗂𝐻. Kishibe slowly rises from the throne. 𝗂𝐻𝐽𝐽𝐝𝗂𝐻. Kishibe walks through a dark hallway. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏. When Kishibe stops, the background behind her lights up, revealing a gigantic digi egg inside a glass tube. Then you see several scenes of people walking in the streets accompanied by several Digimon, the new normal life. 𝗎𝐩𝐢𝐽𝐽𝐝. 𝗧𝗑 is in the center of the city. He is relaxed. 𝗎𝗃𝗧𝗏𝗡𝗏𝗍𝗏𝗍. The breeze moves his hair and 𝗧𝗑 looks up at the sky with a smile. 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 center of the city, all enjoying the quiet day. Kantan de Bokura wa Kitaru. They all talk among themselves while Melissa looks ahead and smiles. Cody and 𝐈𝐧𝐭𝐷𝗀 Sekida. Toya is leaning against a wall while memories of when he was 𝗬𝗲𝗡 flash through his head. Kimi wa 𝗔𝗵𝗲 𝗧𝗵𝗲. Toya clenches his fist and then looks up with a determined expression. Hantu and I. Kishibe approaches the glass tube where the DG egg is. Tenoshi no. Kishibe touches the crystal with her right hand. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗵𝗲. Egg begins to break. Upon seeing this, Kishibe smiles. The egg begins to glow and everything explodes while a glow covers the entire room. The screen splits and you see Izuku and Kishibe, the first with a frown and the second with an evil smile. Nandomo. Izuku in his new Agumon form charges at Kishibe with a punch. Bokura wa. Shinso in his new Lobomon form also charges at Kishibe with his swords. Kawashitaka Naru no. Izuku and Shinso attack Kishibe, but she easily dodges the attacks and sends them flying with a kick each one. 𝗲𝗏𝗄𝗧𝗏 and 𝗓𝗏𝗄𝗧𝗏. Melissa in her new 𝗂𝗵𝗲 form and Kaminari in his new 𝗵𝗃𝗏 form attack Kishibe. Melissa with a gust of wind from her hands and Kaminari with an electric beam from his horn. However, Kishibe easily deflects the attacks with her hands, which explode behind her. Kanodi de Amidesa. Suedou in his new 𝗲𝗏𝗄𝗧𝗏 form attacks Kishibe, but she easily dodges him and sends him flying with one blow. 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗁𝗏. Toya in his new Lomon form attacks Kishibe with his spear, but she dodges it and then grabs him by the neck and throws him away. 𝗬𝗪𝙢𝐼 𝗧𝗏𝗪. Izuku gets up from the ground and attacks Kishibe with a fire punch, but she easily stops it with her hand. 𝗂𝐭𝐲 wa 𝗬𝗲𝗏. Izuku frowns as he tries to push his attack. Kishibe, for her part, just smiles evilly. 𝗬𝐻𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝗏. Shota. A blue-haired girl and Nizu appear in Nizu's office. Interestingly, an 𝐈𝐧𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐵 scatter mode is climbing on Aizawa as if it were a scarf. Kokoro Kurao-no-wa. A woman appears in a room dressed in red, with white hair, sunglasses, and a hat. Alongside her is a stooped man dressed in a royal blue coat and an odd hat with randomly scattered golden buttons, a gray belt, blue pants, dark brown gloves, and black shoes, in addition to having a cane to lean on. Mirai Dake. For a few seconds, a creature with 7 eyes and 7 legs appears. Kishibe appears with Suedou and the 6 shadow figures. The 6 chosen ones appear, and behind them a spirit in the form of Susanoomin, the digital hero, Lost Legends. Both guys stare at Izuku. The first guy with confusion and the second with fear. Really? No reaction. Izuku asks the first guy, "I do not care who you are. Die." The guy said as he attacked Izuku with his hand turned into a sword. "Seriously? I wish you'd recognize me," Izuku said as he stopped the sword with his left hand without taking damage. "Because you would make my job easier." Pyro Punch. Izuku hits the guy with a strong fire punch, rendering him unconscious with just that blow. Izuku looks at the other guy. "And now is when you give up," Izuku said. The guy quickly takes one of the cages and runs out of the building so that a pair of wings sprout from his back and takes flight. Izuku follows him and points his right wrist at the guy but sees something that makes him stop. "I won't need to intervene," Izuku thought as he turns around and goes towards the Digimon cages, but not without first making sure that the first guy is unconscious. The second guy sees how Izuku turns around and thinks he let him go. "I can't believe it, he let me go," but then he receives a kick in the face from someone else. Izuku leaves the building dragging the guy he knocked out. At that moment, the Digital Police arrive. Digital Police. Organization that was founded after some Digimon began to live in the human world. They are in charge of supervising crimes related to Digimon and acting accordingly. It is made up of humans and Digimon. "Just in time, gentlemen. There are several cages with Digimon trapped inside," Izuku said. "Understood, Akemi," the chief said. "We will ensure that they return to the digital world safely." Izuku nods at the moment of also handing over the criminal to the authorities. It is that moment. Next to him, Ryukyu lands. "Good job. Every day you seem more professional than me," Ryukyu said. Ryuko Tatsuma, aka Ryukyu. After the defeat of Lucemon, Izuku continued working under Ryukyu. Thanks to her participation in both wars, Ryukyu climbed quite a few places in the top, now being Japan's number 5 hero. Ryukyu's quirk has also improved. Now she is able to do a partial transformation, remaining human size, but adopting dragon aspects such as a tail, wings, scales, and claws. Her right arm is now a prosthetic one which can grow to adjust to her dragon form. Izuku was going to answer, but then someone lands next to him, Ryukyu, and he turned to look at her. Melissa was the one who landed, carrying the cage with the Digimon in her hand and the unconscious criminal in the other. Melissa is in her 𝗂𝐻𝐵 form, but, like Izuku, this form is different than it used to be. The first thing to notice is that under her clothes, she now has a black full body suit, now no longer leaving her skin exposed. On the other hand, her hair is now blonde and stylized to look more like Melissa's. Finally, her right shoulder pad is the same one that Izuku has, only that Melissa has the symbol of the wind element in the center surrounded by the other 5. Melissa hands the cage and the criminal over to the authorities, and then heads to Izuku and Ryukyu. "So, this is it, right?" she asked. "At the moment, we managed to find the meeting point, but we still have no idea who the client is," Ryukyu said. "I don't think these guys know anything. Even they had no idea who their employer was," Izuku said. "Well, at least we managed to capture a couple more criminals," Melissa said. "Exactly, good job both of you," Ryukyu said. "This is all for today. You can return to Ue." Izuku and Melissa nod and return to their human form. "Another day at the office, I guess," Melissa said. Melissa Shield, aka the Wind Hero Sylph. Age, 18. Quirk, none. Digimon partner, none. She possesses the digital spirits of wind. Student from UA High. Hero Course Class 3A. Like Izuku, Melissa's appearance has also changed. Melissa has become the definition of a beautiful woman. She has grown taller, although she is no longer taller than Izuku. She is the second tallest girl in her class, only below Momo. Her hair, which previously reached her hips, is now shorter, barely reaching her elbows, and her style is now straight instead of wavy. Melissa's clothes have also changed. She now wears red boots, a pair of black stockings that reach above her knees, a black skirt, and a white t-shirt. Over the t-shirt, she has a jacket similar to Izuku's. Only hers is purple and in the back has the symbol of the digital element of wind. And to avoid perverts, she has shorts under her skirt. Okay, shall we go? Izuku asks Melissa as he extends his hand to her. Melissa smiles and shakes her head and then begins to walk. Let's go, Romeo, she said. Izuku smiles and quickly goes to his side, and they both go in the direction of the Ryukyu agency to change into their school uniform, and then return to UA. 3A dorms. The dorms are one of the things that have changed. Although the building remains the same, it now has a small parking lot next to it. This is because some of the class already have a vehicle. Speaking of vehicles, a motorcycle parks in the parking lot. It is Izuku's motorcycle, which was a gift from his mother. Izuku drives while having Melissa sitting behind him. After parking, they both continue on their way to the building, but halfway there they cross paths with someone they know. Hey, it's Hitoshi, Izuku said. Hitoshi Shinso, another of the chosen ones, turns around and smiles when he sees his teammates and friends. Hi. Shinso waves at them. Hitoshi Shinso, aka the Light Hero Wolf. Age, 18. Quirk, brainwashing, formerly. Digimon partner, none. He possesses the digital spirits of light. Student from UA High. Hero course class 3A. Shinso, unlike Izuku and Melissa, has not changed much in terms of appearance. Besides growing in height, he remains practically the same as a year ago, except that his facial expression no longer denotes tiredness like before. You're back? How was it? Shinso asked. More of the same, more people trying to sell Digimon, Izuku said. Oh really? You won't believe it, but me too, Shinso said. How is it possible? There are more and more people trying to sell Digimon despite all the existing security, Melissa said. And more importantly, who are the groups behind this? I think it's not some groups, Izuku said. I think it's only one person, or at least only one group. What makes you think that? Melissa asked. I'm not saying it. Nizu says it, Izuku said. I will explain it to when we are with Suedou and Denki. It would be better to explain it to everyone. Maybe Suedou can contact Toya if he is not busy. Alright, then let's not waste time, Shinso said. Let's get inside. Without further ado, the trio continues walking until they enter the dorms. When Izuku entered the common room, he almost tripped because someone passed between his legs. Although, rather, instead of someone, it was a pair of... Oh, I'm sorry. They were a pair of Digimon. The first one is a light pink humanoid Digimon with gray eyes. Its fingers are a gradient of dark violet to lime green in color. Its outfit consists of a black sleeveless leotard with magenta and black striped leggings that go all the way to her feet. It also wears a medium blue jellyfish-like hat that has countless lime green-tipped tentacles protruding from it, and a pink target-like symbol on the front. This Digimon is a Jellymon. The other is a blue insectoid Digimon, green eyes, a horn on its forehead, and a yellow scarf on its neck. This Digimon is a 𝗂𝗵𝗄𝗏. Don't worry, Izuku said. And now you might wonder, why are there Digimon in the dorms? Well, after the development of the Digimon Tamer project, some UA students were selected to have a Digimon partner. Izuku smiles. Don't worry, go on with your thing, he said. Jellymon and 𝗂𝗵𝗄𝗏 smile and head to the common room of the dorms, going with their human partners. Jellymon climbs on top of the head of a pink-skinned girl, Mina Ashido. Mina Ashido, aka Pinky. Age, 18. Quirk, Acid. Digimon partner, Jellymon. Student from UA High. Hero course class 3A. For his part, 𝗂𝗵𝗄𝗏 climbs onto the shoulder of a girl with short purple hair, 𝗂𝐭𝐲. 𝗂𝐭𝐲, aka Earphone Jack. Age, 18. Quirk, Earphone Jack. Digimon partner, 𝗂𝗵𝗄𝗏. Student from UA High. Hero course class 3A. Hey, Hitoshi-kun, Deku-kun, Melissa-chan, you're back, a voice said. The three turn to look and are greeted by their classmate, Ochako Uraraka, who is being accompanied by her Digimon partner, Lunamon. Ochako Uraraka, aka 𝗬𝗓𝗏. Age 18. Quirk 0 Gravity. Digimon partner Lucemon. Student from UA High. Hero course class 3A. Hitoshi smiles and hugs Uriarika, and then everyone goes to sit on the couches with the others. So you're back? How did it go? Kyoka asked. More problems with Digimon dealers. Izuku said. By the way, are Suedou and Denki back? Nope. Mina said. They are still out. Oh well. I guess they're still busy, Izuku said. In that case we will have to wait. I see they're back, Ida said as he is accompanied by an anthropomorphic blue dog-like Digimon who has a red ribbon tied around his head covering some sort of yellow mark. He wears a pair of boxing gloves. Tenya Ida aka Ingenium. Age 18. Quirk Engine. Digimon partner Galmon. Student from UA High. Hero course class 3A. Tenya Galmon, how are you? Melissa asked. We are fine, thanks for asking. How is it for you? Ida said. Nothing spectacular, we're just waiting for Suedou and Denki. I think we found a clue to stop the Digimon dealers. Izuku said. I see. I guess Suedou and Denki are still out, Ida said. When duty calls. Izuku said. I wonder what they are doing right now. Meanwhile, on the other side, Suedou, accompanied by 𝗵𝗃𝗺 and 𝗵𝗃𝗺, are seeing a warehouse in the distance that seems abandoned. Is this the place? Suedou asks, looking at the warehouse in the distance. According to reports, yes, 𝗵𝗃𝗺 said. What are we waiting for? Let's do it, 𝗵𝗃𝗺 said. Catching up part 2. Is this the place? Suedou asks, looking at the warehouse in the distance. Like the others, Suedou has changed. His hair has grown, now reaching his shoulders, although he usually has it tied in a ponytail. His suit is also different. He is dressed in black boots, black pants, a red shirt, and a white jacket. Said jacket has the symbol of the digital ice element on the back. On his right arm he has his D-terminal. Suedou Todoroki aka Frost. Age 18. Quirk Absolute Zero, formerly. Digimon partner None. He possesses the digital spirits of ice. Student from UA High. Hero course class 3A. According to reports, yes, 𝗵𝗃𝗺 said. Enji Todoroki aka 𝗵𝗃𝗺. Age 47. Quirk Hellflame. Digimon partner 𝗵𝗃𝗺. After the defeat of Lucemon, 𝗵𝗃𝗺 continued with his position as Japan's #1 hero, but now he has his Digimon partner 𝗵𝗃𝗺, who is now part of 𝗵𝗃𝗺's image. What are we waiting for? Let's do it, 𝗵𝗃𝗺 said. Don't worry, 𝗵𝗃𝗺, you already know how this is, let's not rush. 𝗵𝗃𝗺 said. They may be simple thugs, but we don't have to rush, let's approach them quietly. Understood, 𝗵𝗃𝗺 said, climbing onto 𝗵𝗃𝗺's shoulder. Roger that, Suedou said while opening the cover of the D-terminal. D-terminal connected. 𝗲𝗺𝗺 appears on the screen of the device. Spirit Evolution. Suedou slides his ring and middle finger on the screen and then extends his arm to the side and is then surrounded by data. Inside the data, Suedou's clothes were stored inside the D-terminal. Suedou points the D-terminal forward and it projects a screen showing 𝗲𝗺𝗺. The screen explodes in a blur of data that covers Suedou and transforms him into 𝗲𝗺𝗺. Then on his right shoulder a different shoulder pad replaces the one he already had. The transformation is complete. The data disappeared and instead of Suedou there was 𝗲𝗺𝗺. However, 𝗲𝗺𝗺, as the other human spirits, was strange, different. Of all of them, 𝗲𝗺𝗺 is the one that had the most radical change. He now has a more humanoid appearance. Although he is still a dragon, his fur is now half white and half red, his right eye is gray while the left is blue. Lastly, his height is also greater, being the same height as a Gunamon. Like the other Chosen Ones, his right shoulder pad is different, having the symbol of the Chosen Ones on it, but his has the symbol of ice in the center being surrounded by the other 5. I'm ready, Suedou said. A shame Toya couldn't join us. He and Vernon are taking care of business on the other side of the country, 𝗵𝗃𝗺 said. So for now it's us, come on, let's get closer. Without further ado, father and son begin to fly in the direction of the warehouse. The Digital Hero. The Lost Legends opening. Song, Boruto opening 8 Baku. From the shadows a seated woman appears. 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝐻𝐝. The place lights up and 𝐒𝐻𝐝 smiles evilly as his eyes begin to glow blue. 𝗵𝗲𝗄𝗏 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏. As a flashback, the 6 chosen ones are seen fighting Lucemon during the First War. 𝗬𝗚𝗓𝗍. It is seen when the 6 chosen ones throw a large sphere of energy with their powers united at Lucemon. 𝗬𝗓𝗍𝗐𝗐. As a flashback, it is now seen when Susanoomin shoots Lucemon Satan mode a beam from his weapon, Orochi. Doko made. In the present day, Izuku, in his new Aguna monk form, is seen charging at someone unseen. 𝗓𝗏𝗏. The rest of the chosen ones, in their new forms of their respective human spirits, like Izuku, charge against someone unseen. Hate made 𝗵𝗃𝗬𝐻𝗃. That someone turns out to be Kishibe, who when she sees the chosen ones, her appearance glistens a little while she smiles evilly and her eyes shine blue. 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝗨𝐼𝐧𝐭 and 𝐒𝐳𝐿. The 6 chosen ones are seen in a group, Izuku in the middle, on his right Melissa and Suedou, on his left Shinso, Kaminari and Toya. 𝗂𝐭𝐲𝐻 wa 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗏. Now Kishibe is seen sitting on a throne while she has a sword resting on the left of her throne. To her right is Suedou, and behind her there are 6 figures in the shadows, each one with a sword. 𝗎𝗂𝗎𝗄𝗎. Kishibe slowly rises from the throne. 𝗂𝗎𝗄𝗎𝗄𝗏. Kishibe walks through a dark hallway. 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗏. When Kishibe stops, the background behind her lights up, revealing a gigantic DG egg inside a glass tube. Then you see several scenes of people walking in the streets accompanied by several Digimon, the new normal life. Kanju Yurishite 2 Jan. Izuku is in the center of the city. He is relaxed. Ikari wa ai and imazit. The breeze moves his hair and Izuku looks up at the sky with a smile. 0𝗂𝐻𝐻𝗃 𝗔𝗪𝗓. Like Izuku, Kaminari, Suedou, Shinso, and Melissa are also in the center of the city, all enjoying the quiet day. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 𝗬𝗲𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪 𝗵𝗲𝗄𝗵𝗲 Toya clenches his fist and then looks up with a determined expression. 𝗵𝗃𝗄𝐻𝑖𝐴. Kishibe approaches the glass tube where the DG egg is. 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏. Kishibe touches the crystal with her right hand. 𝗵𝗃𝗲𝗄𝐵𝗃𝐻. The egg begins to break. Upon seeing this, Kishibe smiles. The egg begins to glow and everything explodes while a glow covers the entire room. The screen splits and you see Izuku and Kishibe, the first with a frown and the second with an evil smile. Nandomo. Izuku in his new Agumon form charges at Kishibe with a punch. Bokura wa. Shinso in his new Lobomon form also charges at Kishibe with his swords. Kawashitaka Naruno. Izuku and Shinso attack Kishibe, but she easily dodges the attacks and sends them flying with a kick each one. 𝗏𝗂𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 form. Attack Kishibe. Melissa with a gust of wind from her hands and Kaminari with an electric beam from his horn. However, Kishibe easily deflects the attacks with her hands, which explode behind her. 𝗓𝗏𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻𝗄 dodges him and sends him flying with one blow. 𝗵𝗲 Toya, in his new Lucemon form, attacks Kishibe with his spear, but she dodges it and then grabs him by the neck and throws him away. 𝗧𝗪𝙢𝗧𝗔𝗍𝗧𝗔 𝐒𝐭𝐻𝐲 gets up from the ground and attacks Kishibe with a fire punch, but she easily stops it with her hand. 𝗂𝐭𝐻𝐲 𝗔𝗂𝗧𝗏 frowns as he tries to push his attack. Kishibe, for her part, just smiles evilly. 𝗬𝗂𝗁𝗧𝗏 Suedou, a blue-haired girl, and 𝗧𝗎 appear in 𝗧𝗎's office. Interestingly, an 𝐈𝐧𝐿𝐵𝑚on scatter mode is climbing on Aizawa as if it were a scarf. 𝗂𝐭𝐻𝐲 A woman appears in a room dressed in red, with white hair, sunglasses, and a hat. Alongside her is a stooped man dressed in a royal blue coat and an odd hat with randomly scattered golden buttons, a gray belt, blue pants, dark brown gloves, and black shoes, in addition to having a cane to lean on. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏 For a few seconds, a creature with 7 eyes and 7 legs appears. Kishibe appears with Suedou and the 6 shadow figures. The 6 chosen ones appear, and behind them a spirit in the form of 𝗧𝗵𝗵, the digital hero, Lost Legends. Suedou and Endeavor land near the warehouse silently. Okay, we're here. Now what? Suedou asked. Now is when we act hastily, 𝗵𝗃 said, and then destroyed the wall of the warehouse with a burst of fire. All right, the heroes have arrived. Inside the warehouse, there are a total of 3 people and 2 Digimon who stare at 𝗵𝗃. After a few seconds of silence, 2 of these people take out a Digivide and make the 2 Digimon evolve. The Digimon becomes a Greymon, Blue, and an 𝐎𝗪𝗏𝗏. They're hackers, Suedou said. I can tell. Go 𝐒𝐻𝗔𝗄𝗏. 𝗵𝗃 said, taking his D-Buster and making 𝐒𝐻𝗔𝗄𝗏 digivolve. 𝐒𝐻𝗔𝗄𝗏 digivolve to 𝐒𝐻𝗔𝗄𝗏 digivolves into 𝐎𝐻𝐢𝐺𝐻𝗙. 𝐎𝐻𝐢𝐺𝐻𝗙 Both Greymon collide and begin to struggle. Meanwhile, Suedou faces off against the 𝐎𝗪𝗏𝗏. 3 against 1. I like those odds, 𝗵𝗃 said as he faced the 3 humans. Meanwhile, in another part of the city, a group of people finish loading a truck with Digimon cages. All right, it's ready, go ahead, one of them said as he climbed into the passenger seat. Take me to the place indicated on the map. Yes, sir, the other guy said as the doors of the place open. Once open, the truck leaves. This is too easy. I told you. At that point, the driver notices that there is something on the road, or rather someone. I'm sorry, but this is where you end up, 𝗵𝗃 said. 𝗵𝗃 aka 𝐴𝐻𝗫𝗏, age 18. Quirk, electrification, formerly. Digimon partner, none. He possesses the digital spirits of thunder. Student from UA High. Hero course class 3A. 𝗵𝗃, like the others, has changed physically. He has grown in height. His hair is now shorter. Like the other chosen ones, his suit has changed. He is dressed in black boots, black pants, a blue shirt, and a yellow jacket. Said jacket has the symbol of the digital thunder element on the back. Who is that? The driver asked. Who cares? Run over him, the other guy said. Seeing that the truck doesn't stop, 𝗏𝗵𝗲 smiles and then opens the cover of the D-terminal. D-terminal connected. 𝗵𝗃 appears on the screen of the device. Spirit evolution. 𝗵𝗃 slides his ring and middle finger on the screen and then extends his arm to the side and is then surrounded by data. Inside the data, 𝗵𝗃's clothes were stored inside the D-terminal. 𝗵𝗃 points the D-terminal forward and it projects a screen showing 𝗵𝗃. The screen explodes in a blur of data that covers 𝗵𝗃 and transforms him into 𝗵𝗃. Then on his left shoulder, a different shoulder pad replaces the one he already had. The transformation is complete. The data disappeared, and instead of 𝗵𝗃 there was 𝗵𝗃. However, 𝗵𝗃, as the other human spirits, was different. Although 𝗵𝗃 at first glance appears unchanged, now his eyes are yellow. His helmet no longer covers his entire head, now yellow hair with a black lightning-shaped mark emerges from above, resembling 𝗵𝗃's hair in both color and color. In addition to that, on his wrists he no longer has the plus and dash symbols since they were replaced by lightning symbols. Finally, throughout his armor there are several white lightning patterns throughout the armor. Like his friends, his left shoulder pad is different, having the symbol of the chosen ones on it, but his has the symbol of thunder in the center, being surrounded by the other 5. What the? The driver didn't finish speaking as 𝗵𝗃 easily stopped the truck with his hands. I'm sorry, but you're not going anywhere, 𝗵𝗃 said. At that, the driver and co-pilot get out of the truck and try to attack 𝗵𝗃, but then 2 people appear and stop the attacks. Don't worry, don't make this more difficult, 𝗵𝗃𝗏 said, catching the driver in his body fat. Taishiro Toyomitsu, aka 𝗵𝗃𝗏, age 30. Quirk, fat absorption. Digimon partner, none. Following the defeat of Lucemon and 𝗵𝗃𝗏's participation in both wars, 𝗵𝗃𝗏 has enjoyed a large increase in popularity, finally being now Japan's number 10 hero. Give up now and save us trouble, Kirishima said while tackling the co-pilot. Ijiro Kirishika, aka Red Riot, age 18. Quirk, hardening. Digimon partner, none. Hero course class 3A. We have them. Charge bolt, take care of the truck's charge, 𝗵𝗃𝗏 said. Right, 𝗵𝗃 said, heading to the back of the truck, but when he opens the door he is greeted by a punch that makes him retreat. From the back of the truck comes a guy with 4 arms covered in diamonds. What's going on here? The guy said. It seems we have a little problem. Yes, but it will be resolved soon, 𝗵𝗃 said, attacking the guy with a punch, but the guy covers himself with his arms. Back with 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏, the hero dodges the attack of one of the three guys, then attacks another that tried to attack him with a fireball, sending him flying. Come on, is this all you can do? 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏 said as he kicks the third guy. Meanwhile, 𝐒𝐬𝐽 and 𝗓𝗏𝗄 continue to struggle. Why are you helping these hackers? 𝗎𝗬𝐽 asked. Don't you see that they are just using you as a tool? However, 𝗓𝗏𝗄 does not respond. He just roars. 𝗎𝗬𝗽 quickly grabs 𝗓𝗏 and throws him to the ground. It seems that you were reduced to a feral state, 𝗎𝗬𝗽 said. Quickly, 𝗓𝗏𝗄 gets up and charges at 𝗎𝗬𝗽. Mega Flame. Quickly, 𝗎𝗬𝗽 attacks by shooting a fireball from his mouth which hits 𝗓𝗏𝗄. Horn Impulse. He then impales 𝗓𝗏𝗄 against the building with his horns. 𝗓𝗏𝗄 lets out one last roar before exploding into data. On the other hand, 𝗓𝗏𝗻 begins to spin in the air to try to attack Suedou, but he easily dodges him. His attacks are not coordinated. He only attacks to attack. He does not think about how to attack. Suedou thought as he dodged another attack from 𝗓𝗏𝗻, then covered his claws with ice. Ice claws. 𝗓𝗏𝗻 roars upon receiving the attack, remaining motionless in the air, which Suedou takes advantage of. To finish, Precipitation Breath. Suedou fires an ice beam from his mouth which freezes 𝗓𝗏𝗻. Ice Claws. After attacking it with his ice claws, 𝗓𝗏𝗻 explodes into data. Finally, 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏 defeats the third guy with a fire punch. With this we finish. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏 said. Let's pick up these guys and take them to the police. Hackers. Lately their numbers have increased. Suedou said. I don't like what they do to my kind. 𝐴𝐺𝐵𝐿 said already after having returned to his 𝗂𝐺𝐵𝐿 form. That wild state I always see when we face these guys. Don't worry, we'll stop them. Suedou said. Right. 𝗂𝐺𝐵𝐿 said. You can talk later, now help me. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏 said as he carries two of the guys. 𝗂𝐺𝐵𝐿 climbs onto 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏's shoulder while Suedou carries the third guy. Without further ado, the two fly away from the place. Back with Denki. He is defending himself from the guy's attacks. Die. The guy said as he attacks Denki with several punches. Denki doesn't defend himself against the blows. Okay, I'm bored now. Suddenly, Denki catches the guy's fist and begins to surround his free fist with electricity. You've had your fun, now let's get this over with. Thunder Fist. Denki punches the guy in the face and then grabs him in his arms. Goodbye. Punishment Shock. Denki electrocutes the guy for a few seconds and then stops and the guy falls to the ground unconscious. You really like drama, 𝗏𝗃𝗻 said as he arrives next to Denki. It's to add emotion to things. Denki said. Anyway, let's take these cages down and free the Digimon. 𝗏𝗃𝗻 said. I'm already on it. Kirishima said as he took several cages out of the truck. Charge Bolt helps Red Riot. I'll call the digital police. 𝗏𝗃𝗻 said. Right. Kaminari said. After a few minutes the digital police arrived and the Digimon were rescued. Good job, Riot, Charge Bolt. 𝗏𝗃𝗻 said. Thanks, I don't like this at all. I can't believe there are people doing these things. Kirishima said. At that moment one of the rescued Digimon approached Kirishima. Said Digimon is a humanoid Digimon with a body made of gray rocks. It has yellow eyes and two rocks on its head that resemble barriers. It has 3 fingers on each hand and 3 toes on each foot. Thank you very much for rescuing us. The Digimon said to Kirishima. Do not worry, friend. That's what heroes are for. Kirishima said. You're so cool. I would like to go with you. The Digimon said. This takes Kirishima by surprise. And me? He said. Wow, thank you very much. The truth is I would love for you to come with me. Then it's decided. I will be your Digimon partner. The Digimon said. I'm 𝗏𝗧𝗵𝗏 by the way. What? Kirishima said. Cool. Congratulations, bro. It looks like you now have a Digimon partner. Denki said after returning to his human form. Well, the truth is that I was a little jealous of Ishido, Jiro, Uraraka, and Ida. Kirishima said. Very good. I accept you as a partner. Get ready because we will become very strong together. Yes. 𝗏𝗧𝗵𝗏 said, high-fiving Kirishima, who had a Digivice appear on his belt. All right, Kirishima said. 3A dorms. After another day dealing with hackers, Suedou finally returns to the dorms. On his way, he crosses paths with Denki and Kirishima. Denki, Ijiro, I see you're back too. Just then, Suedou notices 𝗧𝗵𝗲 next to Kirishima. And this is... It's 𝗧𝗵𝗲, my new Digimon partner. Kirishima said. Oh, so you managed to become a partner with a Digimon. That seems good to me. Suedou said. Yes, now we have to tell others. Denki said, and then the three of them enter the dorms. We are back. Denki said, opening the door. Suedou and Kirishima enter next to him. And we have a new member for the class. Hey. Iizuka said, greeting. Next to him there were also other classmates, among them Mina, who hugged Suedou when he arrived. What do you mean by a new member? Well, Denki said, and then looked at Kirishima. Kirishima smiles and then steps away to reveal 𝗧𝗵𝗲. I present to you 𝗧𝗵𝗲, my Digimon partner, he said. Another Digimon. A new member of the family. Jellymon said as she, along with Lunamon and 𝗏𝗏𝗏 approached 𝗧𝗵𝗲. Welcome. You will love living here. Yes, these people are very kind and we have the chosen ones who defeated Lucemon living with us, Lunamon said. Just then Galmon and Iida approached. Welcome 𝗧𝗵𝗲, from now on you are part of our family, Galmon said. I'm glad that another of us has a Digimon partner, but I must remind you that it is a very big responsibility, Iida said. Don't worry, Tenya. I'm ready, Kirishima said. 𝗧𝗵𝗲 and I will form an incredible team like you. I'm glad to hear that, and I'm also happy that another Digimon is joining us, Iizuka said. Mina, Ochako, Tenya, and Kyoka may have more time with their Digimon partners, but I'm sure you'll do well. Thanks, bro, Kirishima said. And for you, 𝗧𝗵𝗲, Iizuka said, crouching down to 𝗧𝗵𝗲's height. As leader and representative of the chosen ones as well as class president, I welcome you to Class 3A. Thanks, 𝗧𝗵𝗲 said. So, new member, huh? Jiro said, approaching Denki. What? Not even a welcome kiss? Denki jokingly asked to his girlfriend. Jiro just rolls her eyes. Now that we've finished this matter, Denki, Suedou, we were waiting for you, Iizuka said. What is it? Suedou asked. 𝗍𝗓 wants to talk to us. I was hoping you could contact Toya to... Before Iizuka could finish speaking, the D terminals began to ring. It seems I'm late in telling you. 𝗍𝗓 needs us. We haven't even arrived and we already have to leave again, Denki said. Well, that's what it's like to be a chosen one, Iizuka said. Come on, let's change into our suits and go see what 𝗍𝗓 needs. The first encounter. What would 𝗍𝗓 want? Kaminari said. You know what 𝗍𝗓 wants to talk about, right? Shinso asked. Like the others, Shinso is dressed in his suit, which consists of purple boots, black pants, a purple shirt, and a light blue jacket. Said jacket has the symbol of the digital light element on the back. More or less, I know it has to do with Digimon trafficking, Iizuka said. I think he has a clue to find the main client behind this. Do you have any idea who could be behind it? Suedou asked. Not really, Iizuka said. It can be anyone. What I'm most interested in knowing is why this person or group needs so many Digimon, Melissa said. Obviously, it is important to know who is behind all this, but aren't you curious to know what all this is for? Now that you mention it, yeah, it's intriguing, Shinso said. Well, soon we will know more about all this. We have arrived, Iizuka said, opening the door to the principal's office. In the middle of the room, which has been expanded from what it was before, is 𝗍𝗓, now without the need to camouflage himself anymore, sitting at his desk while looking at something on his computer. Hearing the door open, 𝗍𝗓 smiles as he sees the chosen ones enter. Hello, chosen ones, he said. 𝗍𝗓, you wanted to see us, don't you? Iizuka asked. The Digital Hero. The Lost Legends opening. Song, Boruto opening 8 Baku. From the shadows a seated woman appears, Kishibe. The place lights up and Kishibe smiles evilly as his eyes begin to glow blue. Nando mo bokura wa. As a flashback, the 6 chosen ones are seen fighting Lucemon during the First War. 𝗵𝗲 and 𝗔𝗓𝗏. It is seen when the 6 chosen ones throw a large sphere of energy with their powers united at Lucemon. 𝗧𝗵𝗲 As a flashback, it is now seen when 𝗧𝗵𝗲 shoots Lucemon Satan mode a beam from his weapon, 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗏 made. In the present day, 𝗧𝗬𝐭, in his new 𝗬𝗏 form, is seen charging at someone unseen. 𝐒𝐭𝐚𝐲. The rest of the chosen ones, in their new forms of their respective human spirits, like 𝗧𝗬𝐭, charge against someone unseen. 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫. That someone turns out to be Kishibe, who, when she sees the chosen ones, her appearance glistens a little while she smiles evilly and her eyes shine blue. 𝗧𝗪𝙢𝐼𝐧𝐭. The 6 chosen ones are seen in a group, 𝗧𝗬𝐭 in the middle, on his right Melissa and Suedou, on his left Shinso, Kaminari, and Toya. 𝗂𝐭𝐲. Now Kishibe is seen sitting on a throne while she has a sword resting on the left of her throne. To her right is Suedou, and behind her there are 6 figures in the shadows, each one with a sword. 𝗬𝗚𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻. Kishibe slowly rises from the throne. 𝗂𝗚𝗄𝐻𝗄𝐻. Kishibe walks through a dark hallway. 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗫. When Kishibe stops, the background behind her lights up, revealing a gigantic digi egg inside a glass tube. Then you see several scenes of people walking in the streets accompanied by several Digimon, the new normal life. 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗫𝗃. 𝗧𝗬𝗭 is in the center of the city. He is relaxed. 𝗂𝐴𝐴𝐼𝗧𝗏𝗍𝗏𝗍𝗏𝗍𝗏𝗧. The breeze moves his hair and 𝗧𝗬𝗭 looks up at the sky with a smile. 𝗧𝗬𝗏𝗃𝗫𝗏𝗍𝗏𝗏𝗏. Like 𝗧𝗬𝗭, Kaminari, Suedou, Shinso, and Melissa are also in the center of the city, all enjoying the quiet day. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 𝐒𝐻𝐢𝐳 Toya is leaning against a wall while memories of when he was Dobby flash through his head. 𝗵𝗲 𝗔𝗂𝗁𝐼 Toya clenches his fist and then looks up with a determined expression. 𝗵𝗃𝗁𝐼 Kishibe approaches the glass tube where the DG egg is. 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏 Kishibe touches the crystal with her right hand. 𝗵𝗃𝗲𝗁𝐼 The egg begins to break. Upon seeing this, Kishibe smiles. The egg begins to glow and everything explodes while a glow covers the entire room. The screen splits and you see Izuku and Kishibe, the first with a frown and the second with an evil smile. Nandomo. Izuku in his new Agumon form charges at Kishibe with a punch. Bokura wa. Shinso in his new Lobomon form also charges at Kishibe with his swords. Kawashitaka Naruno. Izuku and Shinso attack Kishibe, but she easily dodges the attacks and sends them flying with a kick each one. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Daichi and Ayumwane. Melissa in her new Kazumon form and Kaminari in his new 𝗵𝗃𝗏 form attack Kishibe. Melissa with a gust of wind from her hands and Kaminari with an electric beam from his horn. However, Kishibe easily deflects the attacks with her hands, which explode behind her. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Amidesu. Suedou in his new 𝗲𝗲𝗏𝗏 form attacks Kishibe, but she easily dodges him and sends him flying with one blow. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Toya in his new Lomon form attacks Kishibe with his spear, but she dodges it and then grabs him by the neck and throws him away. 𝗓𝗨𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Izuku gets up from the ground and attacks Kishibe with a fire punch, but she easily stops it with her hand. 𝗂𝐭𝐴𝑡𝑢𝑔𝐻 𝗂𝐻𝐻𝗂𝐻 Izuku frowns as he tries to push his attack. Kishibe, for her part, just smiles evilly. 𝗎𝗓𝗎𝗓𝗓 Shota, a blue-haired girl, and Nizu appear in Nizu's office. Interestingly, in 𝐈𝐧𝐿𝐼𝐻 scatter mode is climbing on Aizawa as if it were a scarf. 𝗂𝗓𝗎𝗓𝗓 Kuraonowa. A woman appears in a room dressed in red, with white hair, sunglasses, and a hat. Alongside her is a stooped man dressed in a royal blue coat and an odd hat with randomly scattered golden buttons, a gray belt, blue pants, dark brown gloves, and black shoes, in addition to having a cane to lean on. Mirai Dake. For a few seconds, a creature with 7 eyes and 7 legs appears. Kishibe appears with Suedou and the 6 shadow figures. The 6 chosen ones appear, and behind them a spirit in the form of 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 the digital hero, Lost Legends. Nizu looks at the chosen ones in front of him and smiles. Well, of course, he said. I know you just got back, but this information is promising. Izuku said it's about the Digimon trafficking network. Shinso said, yes, but before. Todoroki-kun, do you think Toya could join us for this? Nizu asked. I'll try. Suedou said and then took out his phone and dialed his brother. In the meantime, tell me what you think of the new D-terminals. 𝗎𝗎𝗄 asked. They are very useful. 𝗧𝗂𝐵 said. Yes, thanks to 𝐭𝐴𝐲 now you don't need to carry your D-scan everywhere. The D-terminal connects to it through digital waves, so no matter where you are, you can always transform. 𝗎𝗎𝗄 said. Speaking of transformations, do you have any idea why our human spirits look different? Denki asked. I have a theory, 𝗎𝗎𝗄 said. And it has to do with how long you have been using them. Melissa said. Are you suggesting that our prolonged use of human spirits caused them to alter their appearance? Yes, after the defeat of Lucemon you have not had the need to use your other spirits. There have been rare occasions when you have used the beast spirits, but mainly you have only used the human spirits. 𝗎𝗎𝗄 said. It's true. Since Lucemon was defeated, I don't remember using Alderman again, let alone 𝗧𝗪𝗓 or 𝗧𝗵𝗲. 𝗧𝗂𝐵 said. Same here. Shinso said. I believe that the new appearance of your human spirits is a combination of them and you. You have stopped seeing them as extra powers and now see them as part of you. Therefore they have adapted to look more like you. 𝗎𝗎𝗄 said. Makes sense. I guess that explains that too. 𝗧𝗂𝐵 snaps his fingers and a small flame appears in his hand. The flame is small and would only work as a torch. Wow, that's new. Denki said. Since when can you do that? Shinso asked. Since this morning. That's why I waited to meet on 𝗎𝗎𝗄 to show it. 𝗧𝗂𝐵 said. If 𝗎𝗎's theory is true, then that means we may gain some aspects of our transformations. Melissa said. In 𝗧𝗂𝐵's case, he obtained the ability to control fire. That's exactly what I was thinking. 𝗎𝗎𝗄 said. Well, for now I can only do this, but maybe in the future I can use it to fight without transforming. 𝗧𝗂𝐵 said. Cool, Denki said. Perfect. Now, Todoroki-kun, what was your brother's response? 𝗎𝗎𝗄 asked. He is still working, but he has time if the meeting is quick. Suedou said. He will connect through the holotransmitter. Perfect. 𝗎𝗎𝗄 said, pressing some buttons, and suddenly a machine on the wall turned on and projected Toya's hologram. 𝗎𝗎𝗄 said, pressing some buttons, and suddenly a machine on the wall turned on and projected Toya's hologram. Toya, like the others, has a suit. Although similar to that of the other chosen ones, his is somewhat different. Toya wears a white t-shirt, black pants, black boots, a black belt with the head of a golden 𝗬𝗏𝗡 as a buckle, and a purple leather trench coat. Said trench coat has the symbol of digital darkness on the back. Unlike the other chosen ones, he has his D-terminal on his left arm instead of the right. So, what is it? Toya asked. We have information about Digimon traffic. 𝗎𝗎𝗄 said. I think I have the location of one of their main bases. I see. That's good, but make it quick. There are still matters to resolve here and Burnin is yelling at me to hurry up. I'll do it quickly. 𝗎𝗎𝗄 said and then pressed a button and showed a hologram of a 3D map. A few days ago I received an anonymous email that gave me an address. Anonymous? Are we sure we can trust that? Shinso asked. Don't worry, I have confirmed that the source is legitimate and safe. 𝗎𝗎𝗄 said. Now, when going to that address we came across a small building. We looked for more about it and it is listed as a private building. However, when doing scans we detected a large source of digital energy in that place. Did you just recently detect it? Don't you have scanning equipment to scan for suspicious digital activity? Suedou asked. The place probably has some kind of inhibitor that allows it to go unnoticed by large-scale scans. 𝗎𝗎𝗄 said. What did you find? 𝗧𝗂𝐵 asked. We did not want to risk an approach without you. 𝗎𝗎𝗄 said. But now you are here. So you're saying that what we're going to do is go investigate that place? 𝗧𝗂𝐵 asked. Right, I'll give you the coordinates and you'll do what you do best. Take down bad guys. 𝗎𝗎𝗄 said. Understood. 𝗧𝗂𝐵 said. I guess we won't be counting on you, Toya. Yeah. I'm sorry, I know it's my duty to help with things like this, but if I leave here... We understand, don't worry. I just want you to be aware of the situation. Any discovery we will let you know. 𝗎𝗎𝗄 said. Understood. Alright, if that's all, I'm leaving. Good luck guys, Night Lion out. Toya said and then disconnected. Alright, we have our mission, it's time to go. 𝗧𝗂𝐵 said and then received the coordinates in his D-terminal. Coordinates received. Let's move. Without further ado, the 5 leave for the given location. The night is calm and silent, but that silence is interrupted by a motorcycle and a car. 𝗧𝗂 and Melissa are riding on the motorcycle. 𝗧𝗂 is driving while Melissa is the co-pilot. Meanwhile, in the car are Suedou, who owns the car and is driving, Shinso in the co-pilot seat, and Denki in the rear seats. How much left? Suedou asks through the earpiece. We are close, 𝗧𝗂 said. We will park nearby and walk the rest of the way. We don't want to attract attention with the sound of the engines. Understood, Suedou said. Man, this place is pretty isolated from the rest of the city. What are these people up to? Denki said. That's what we'll find out, 𝗧𝗂 said. Why do these kind of people always choose such ugly places for their operations? Melissa said. Why do these types of people always choose such ugly places for their operations? Shinso said. I know. It's so typical and obvious that I don't know why no one investigates these places. Melissa said. That's actually a good point. Denki said. We're close, let's park here, 𝗧𝗂 said as he turns into an alley and parks in it. Suedou parks outside the alley. The five begin their way to their destination. After walking for a few minutes, they arrive at what looks like a warehouse. So, this is the place, Denki said. Yes, 𝗧𝗂 said as he uses his 𝗧𝗵𝗲 to scan the place. Nizu was right. There is a large amount of digital energy in this place. It seems to be gathering in the center of the building. It's a lot of energy. I have a bad feeling, Shinso said. Then we have to stop them, 𝗧𝗂 said. Melissa, Hitoshi, go to the right. Suedou, Denki, you go to the left. Try to find a way to enter without attracting attention. I will search this area. What exactly are we looking for? Denki asked. Alternate entrances other than the main one, 𝗧𝗂 said. We have to try to be stealthier. We don't want to repeat what happened in Kansai. Right, Denki said. All right, move out, 𝗧𝗂 ordered, and the five of them started to move. Melissa and Shinso head to the right of the building, Denki and Suedou to the left. Meanwhile, 𝗧𝗂 goes down the small hill to head towards the building. 𝗧𝗂 uses his 𝗧𝗵𝗲 again to detect digital energies. It's too much energy. I have to get in no matter what, 𝗧𝗂 thought as he looked around until he noticed a hatch for the ventilation system. Bingo! With ease, 𝗧𝗂 climbs the wall and opens the ventilation hatch and enters. Alright, let's go where this takes us. 𝗧𝗂 continues his way, crawling through the ventilation as quietly as possible. After a couple of minutes, 𝗧𝗂's 𝗧𝗵𝗲 begins to ring slightly. Yes? He asked. 𝗧𝗂, we found the back entrance, Shinso said from the 𝗧𝗵𝗲's communicator. Is there any guard? 𝗧𝗂 asked. Not for the moment, Shinso said. We will proceed with caution. Understood, 𝗧𝗂 said. 𝗧𝗂, we found the main entrance, Suedou said from the communicator. Are there any guards? 𝗧𝗂 asked. Yes, but there is something interesting, Suedou said. Denki had a hunch and we scanned the guards. They're Digimon in disguise. Digimon? 𝗧𝗂 wondered. That changes things. What do we do? Suedou asked. Keep a low profile and try to find another entrance, 𝗧𝗂 said. Understood, Suedou said. Alright, I have to keep moving, 𝗧𝗂 said as he continues to move. After more minutes of crawling, 𝗧𝗂 reaches another trapdoor through which he can see what is in the other side. On the other side there is a strange machine connected to another. In the first machine there is a sword inside a tube. On the other hand, the second machine has several straps to keep someone or something in place. 𝗧𝗂 focuses his attention on the sword in the tube. It somehow felt familiar. The sword is a sword with two blades on one side and its handle is golden. However, the most interesting thing is that the sword has 4 wings, 2 on the handle and 2 on the pommel. But the interesting thing is that the 2 right wings, they are angelic and white, and the 2 black ones are demonic and black. It looks familiar, but I don't know why, 𝗧𝗂 said and then took out his 𝗧𝗵𝗲 and scanned the sword. This is the center of energy. All the energy converges on this sword. What are they up to? 𝗧𝗂, we have problems, Shinso said. What is it? Asterisk. Guards, we have many guards and we can't advance, Shinso said. I see. Suedou, Denki, did you manage to get in? No, not yet, Suedou said. Alright, leave that. Go to the main entrance and cause a distraction, 𝗧𝗂 said. With Suedou and Denki. Understood, Suedou said. Alright, you heard him, come on. Alright, Denki said. They both head to the entrance and walk towards the guards. "Stop there. This is private property," one of the guards said. "Hey, they're not," the other one said. "Oh yes. Yes, we are. Ready, Denki?" Suedou asked. "Hell yeah," Denki said. "Evolution." They both shout using their D-terminals to transform into 𝗵𝘃𝗄𝗏 and 𝗵𝘃𝗏𝗏. 𝐻*, the chosen ones, one of the guards said. "Quick, sound the alarm." One of the two guards enters the building while the other leaves his human disguise to reveal his Digimon appearance and attempt to attack Suedou. And you already know I don't name which Digimon appear unless they are relevant. Suedou easily dodges the Digimon's attack so that Denki then hits him and sends him flying. "And now is when the rest come," Denki said. And just as Denki said, several Digimon come out to face them. "Let's get this over with," Suedou said. With Hitoshi and Melissa. "We have enemies," a guard arrived and said. "You stay here. You come with us." After this, the guards left, leaving only one behind. "Well, now there's only one left. Let's finish him off," Melissa said. "No, I'll take care of him, you continue," Hitoshi said. "You sure?" Melissa asked. "Yes," Hitoshi said, coming out of his hiding place to face the only guard. "There are more of you here," the guard said as he takes off his human disguise. "But not for long." Said Digimon has the appearance of a green humanoid lizard. He has purple pants, knives in his arms, and a pair of swords which he carries on his back. This Digimon is a 𝗓𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏. Hitoshi smiles and lifts the cover of his D-terminal. D-terminal. Connected. Lobomon appears on the screen of the device. Spirit evolution. Hitoshi slides his ring and middle finger on the screen and then extends his arm to the side and is then surrounded by data. Inside the data, Hitoshi's clothes were stored inside the D-terminal. Hitoshi points the D-terminal forward and it projects a screen showing Lobomon. The screen explodes in a blur of data that covers Hitoshi and transforms him into Lobomon. Then on his left shoulder, a different shoulder pad replaces the one he already had. The transformation is complete. The data disappeared, and instead of Hitoshi there was Lobomon. However, Lobomon, like the other spirits, was different. Lobomon still retains his armor. However, he now has many more purple details than before. His eyes and hair are now purple, resembling Hitoshi's, and finally his scarf is now red. Hitoshi turns on his swords and blocks an attack from 𝗓𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏's swords. "You want to fight?" Hitoshi said. "Let's fight." Hitoshi pushes 𝗓𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏 away from the entrance. This is taken advantage of by Melissa, who sneaks to the entrance. Just then she feels something and jumps to the left, dodging the attack of a Digimon that fell from the ceiling. "You have good reflexes," the Digimon said. "It's a 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏. "Great." In the end, being stealthy was of no use, Melissa said while lifting the cover of her D-terminal. D-terminal. Connected. 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏 appears on the screen of the device. Spirit evolution. Melissa slides her ring and middle finger on the screen and then extends her arm to the side and is then surrounded by data. Inside the data, Melissa's clothes were stored inside the D-terminal. Melissa points the D-terminal forward and it projects a screen showing 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏. The screen explodes in a blur of data that covers Melissa and transforms her into 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏. Then on her right shoulder, a different shoulder pad replaces the one she already had. The transformation is complete. The data disappeared, and instead of Melissa there was 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏. Melissa quickly attacks 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏 with a kick, but he covers himself with the shields of his arms. "Let's see if you know how to dance," 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏 said, attacking Melissa with his swords, but she dodges them by doing a backflip. "Believe me, I know how to dance," Melissa said, dodging another attack from 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏 and counterattacking with a kick to the Digimon's stomach. With 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏 continues observing the machine. Then two Digimon enter the place while dragging a third rookie-level Digimon. "What are they doing?" 𝗧𝗏𝗏 thought. "Is it safe to do this while we are being attacked?" One of the Digimon asked. "These are the boss's orders," the other one said. "Let's hurry up and we'll finish sooner." The Digimon place the third one in the machine and tie him with the straps. "Activate the extractor," one Digimon said. Then the machine activates and the tied Digimon begins to scream in pain. What are they doing? Izuku thought with anger. After a few seconds, the bound Digimon explodes into data and the machine absorbs it, redirecting it towards the sword which absorbs the data. Alright, bring on the next one. One of the Digimon said while the second brings another rookie-level Digimon and ties it to the machine. Unable to allow it, Izuku kicks open the vent cover and steps out to face the two Digimon. I won't allow it, Izuku said while preparing his D-terminal. Evolution. Izuku transforms into a Gunamon and with a double punch of fire destroys both Digimon quickly. Without wasting time, Izuku frees the captured Digimon. Are you okay? He asked. Why yeah, but there are more Digimon trapped here, the Digimon said. You know where they are? Izuku asks and the Digimon nods. In that case, take me there. I'm going to get all of you out of here. Izuku begins to follow the Digimon. However, he does not realize that a Digimon has arrived at the place. Said Digimon has the appearance of a yellow ape with a bone tied to its back. This Digimon is an 𝗵𝗄𝐴𝐵𝐺. 𝗵𝗄𝐴𝐵𝐺 watches as Izuku leaves, then turns towards the machine, breaks the glass, and takes the sword and then follows Izuku. It's time to test this thing, 𝗵𝗄𝐴𝐵𝐺 said. The first fight. For many people, 𝗧𝗵𝐺𝐝 is a strange woman, mainly because of her peculiar personality as well as her way of acting. For many, 𝗧𝗵𝐵𝐺 is someone who is stupid and innocent, someone who doesn't quite understand what she does, but for those who take the time to get to know her, they will know that she is an overly intelligent woman, something she hides under her facade as a carefree and innocent woman. At this moment, 𝗧𝗵𝐵𝐺 is drinking tea while looking at a screen. Kishibe. Akemi Suedou said, entering the room where 𝗧𝗵𝐵𝐺 is. We have a problem. Oh? 𝗧𝗵𝐵 said. And what problem do we have? The chosen ones. They found our experimentation place. Suedou said in a worried tone but is surprised when noticing that 𝗧𝗵𝐵 isn't worried. Of course they found it, 𝗧𝗵𝐵 said. At the end of the day, I was the one who leaked the information to the UA principal. What? Why would you do that? Suedou asked. It's simple, silly, 𝗧𝗵𝐵 said. We need to test our experiment, don't we? You took too much risk by doing that, Suedou said. They could have discovered you. You know very well that I am smarter than I appear, 𝗧𝗵𝐵 said. I filtered the information anonymously, as if it were a rumor. Still, I think attracting the chosen ones is a bad idea, Suedou said. The experiments are for the purpose of facing them. Why not try it directly? 𝗧𝗵𝐵 said. Besides, we won't lose anything. Very well, Suedou said. Take a sit, 𝗧𝗵𝐵 said. Let's see how this ends. The Digital Hero. The Lost Legends opening. Song. Boruto opening 8 Baku. From the shadows a seated woman appears. 𝗧𝗵𝐵𝐺. The place lights up and Kishibe smiles evilly as his eyes begin to glow blue. Nando mo Bokuro wa. As a flashback, the 6 chosen ones are seen fighting Lucemon during the First War. Yum and I Miserit. It is seen when the 6 chosen ones throw a large sphere of energy with their powers united at Lucemon. Atsui Iki wa Midashite Kakadasu no. As a flashback, it is now seen when 𝗧𝗵𝗔 shoots Lucemon Satan mode a beam from his weapon, Orochi. Doko made. In the present day, Izuku, in his new Aguna monk form, is seen charging at someone unseen. Ikuruka. The rest of the chosen ones, in their new forms of their respective human spirits, like Izuku, charge against someone unseen. Hate made 𝗵𝗃𝗃. That someone turns out to be Kishibe, who when she sees the chosen ones, her appearance glistens a little while she smiles evilly and her eyes shine blue. 𝗬𝗪𝙢𝐼 Sora and 𝐈𝐧𝐭. The 6 chosen ones are seen in a group, Izuku in the middle, on his right Melissa and Shoto, on his left Shinso, Kaminari and Toya. Kakugo wa Tudahoka. Now Kishibe is seen sitting on a throne while she has a sword resting on the left of her throne. To her right is Suedou, and behind her there are 6 figures in the shadows, each one with a sword. Yokwakore Kara. Kishibe slowly rises from the throne. Kokoro Kurao no wa. Kishibe walks through a dark hallway. Mirai Dake. When Kishibe stops, the background behind her lights up, revealing a gigantic digi-egg inside a glass tube. Then you see several scenes of people walking in the streets accompanied by several Digimon, the new normal life. Kanju Yurishite 2 Jan. Izuku is in the center of the city. He is relaxed. 𝗂𝐬𝐽𝐲𝐷𝗀𝗕. The breeze moves his hair and 𝗧𝗂𝐭 looks up at the sky with a smile. 𝗧𝗏𝗂𝐻𝐻. Like 𝗧𝗂𝐭𝐚𝐲, Kaminari, Suedou, Shinso, and Melissa are also in the center of the city, all enjoying the quiet day. 𝗵𝘃𝗲. They all talk among themselves while Melissa looks ahead and smiles. Cody and 𝐈𝐧𝐭𝐷𝗧𝗏. Toya is leaning against a wall while memories of when he was 𝗬𝗏𝗍 flash through his head. 𝗵𝘃𝗲. Toya clenches his fist and then looks up with a determined expression. 𝗵𝗃𝗲. Kishibe approaches the glass tube where the digimon is. 𝗧𝗏𝗍. Kishibe touches the crystal with her right hand. 𝗵𝗃𝗲. The egg begins to break. Upon seeing this, Kishibe smiles. The egg begins to glow and everything explodes while a glow covers the entire room. The screen splits and you see Izuku and Kishibe, the first with a frown and the second with an evil smile. Nandomo. Izuku in his new Agumon form charges at Kishibe with a punch. Bokura. Shinso in his new Lobomon form also charges at Kishibe with his swords. Kawashitaka Naruno. Izuku and Shinso attack Kishibe, but she easily dodges the attacks and sends them flying with a kick each one. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Daichi and 𝗓𝗏𝗏𝗏. Melissa in her new 𝗏𝗧𝗵𝗲 form and Kaminari in his new 𝗵𝗃𝗏𝗏 form attack Kishibe. Melissa with a gust of wind from her hands and Kaminari with an electric beam from his horn. However, Kishibe easily deflects the attacks with her hands, which explode behind her. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Suedou in his new pale Dramon form attacks Kishibe, but she easily dodges him and sends him flying with one blow. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Toya in his new Lomon form attacks Kishibe with his spear, but she dodges it and then grabs him by the neck and throws him away. 𝗓𝗨𝗡𝗧𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 easily stops it with her hand. 𝐒𝐭𝐲𝐲 𝗂𝗏𝗧𝗏. Izuku frowns as he tries to push his attack. Kishibe, for her part, just smiles evilly. 𝗬𝗓𝗏 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝗃. Shoda, a blue-haired girl, and Nizu appear in Nizu's office. Interestingly, an 𝐈𝐧𝐿𝐵𝐵 scatter mode is climbing on Aizawa as if it were a scarf. 𝗂𝐻𝐻𝗃 𝗓𝗏𝗧𝗏. A woman appears in a room dressed in red, with white hair, sunglasses, and a hat. Alongside her is a stooped man dressed in a royal blue coat and an odd hat with randomly scattered golden buttons, a gray belt, blue pants, dark brown gloves, and black shoes, in addition to having a cane to lean on. 𝗵𝘃𝗧𝗏. For a few seconds, a creature with 7 eyes and 7 legs appears. Kishibe appears with Suedou and the 6 shadow figures. The 6 chosen ones appear, and behind them a spirit in the form of 𝗧𝗵𝗲, the digital hero, Lost Legends. Hitoshi continues his fight against 𝗧𝗵𝗲. He tries to attack him with his knives, but Hitoshi easily defends himself with his swords and blocks all of 𝗧𝗵𝗲's attacks. Pretty easy. His attacks are very predictable. Hitoshi thought. As expected from a chosen one, you are strong, but I am stronger. 𝗧𝗏𝗲 said as he takes the giant dagger from his back. 𝗧𝗏/. 𝗧𝗏𝗲 attacks Hitoshi with his giant dagger, but Hitoshi is unfazed and takes his swords and cuts 𝗧𝗏𝗲's dagger in half. What the? I'm sorry, but no sword is a match for my light swords, Hitoshi said as he joins his 2 swords into one. There is nothing my swords cannot cut. Hitoshi moves at high speed and with a single slash slices 𝗧𝗏𝗲 in half. 2 victors. After the attack, 𝗧𝗏𝗲 explodes into data. Too easy. Elsewhere, Melissa does several backflips while dodging 𝗬𝐭𝐷𝗀's sword slashes. Stay still, 𝗬𝐭𝐷𝗀 said. Alright. Melissa said, stopping and allowing 𝗬𝐭𝐷𝗀 to attack her, but she quickly destroys the wooden sword with a strong kick. That doesn't mean I'll let myself get killed either. You dare, 𝗬𝐭𝐷𝗀 said while attacking Melissa with his other sword. Melissa quickly ducks to avoid the attack and then counterattacks with a kick, from which 𝗬𝐭𝐷𝗀 tries to protect himself with his wooden shields in his arms. The kick was so strong that it not only broke 𝗬𝐭𝐷𝗀's wooden shields, but also caused 𝗬𝐭𝐷𝗀 to go through a window and fly out of the building. How much strength! Their powers are greater than estimated. 𝗬𝐭𝐷𝗀 falls to the ground and watches as Melissa positions herself above him. I'm sorry, but we have work to do, Melissa said as she creates a pair of tornadoes in her hands. Hurricane wave. Melissa attacks 𝐒𝐭𝐴𝑐𝗵𝗏 and easily destroys him. Are you done? Melissa turns around and looks at Hitoshi sitting at the broken window. Yeah, Melissa said. Good, now let's go help Izuku, Hitoshi said. For his part, Izuku is freeing all the captive Digimon in the area, all of them being rookie level and below. Bastards. Capturing defenseless Digimon, Izuku thought as he finished freeing the Digimon. Hey you. Could you stop? 𝗵𝗄𝗏 said, entering the room while holding the familiar sword in his right hand. Go to a safe place, Izuku said to the rescued Digimon who listened and began to run away. What is all this? Why do you do it? And most importantly, why use defenseless Digimon for this? First, you don't care. Second, you don't care. And third, you don't care, 𝗵𝗄𝗏 said while attacking Izuku with the sword. Izuku crouches and easily dodges the attack and quickly attacks 𝗵𝗄𝗏 with a punch to the stomach, sending him flying and crashing into the wall. You're wrong about that. I do care. Izuku attacks 𝗵𝗄𝗏 with a fire fist. Pyro punch. 𝗵𝗄𝗏 manages to move in time and dodge the attack, which creates a crater in the wall upon impact. Die. 𝗵𝗄𝗏 attacks Izuku with the sword, but he blocks it with his arm and, thanks to his armor, takes no damage. I didn't hurt him. 𝗵𝗄𝗏 did not finish his thoughts as Izuku kicked him, which made him fly and fall to the ground. That sword didn't hurt me, Izuku thought. Maybe it's not finished. This is garbage. Isn't it supposed to be powerful? 𝗵𝗄𝗏 said as he sheathes his sword and takes the bone on his back. I'd better stay with the usual ones. Bone strike. 𝗵𝗄𝗏 attacks Izuku with the bone, but Izuku dodges it with a backflip. Fire darts. Izuku fires several fire bullets at 𝗵𝗄𝗏. 𝗵𝗄𝗏 uses the bone to block the fire bullets and then attacks Izuku again. However, Izuku breaks the bone with a punch. Baltic strike. Izuku hits 𝗵𝗄𝗏 with a fiery kick which knocks him down. This can't be. His powers have increased, 𝗵𝗄𝗏 said as he stands up and takes the sword again. Let's try again. Are you seriously going to try that again? Izuku asked when he saw how 𝗵𝗄𝗏 tried to attack him with the sword. Izuku easily dodged the attacks, and with a kick pinned 𝗵𝗄𝗏 against the wall. That thing was created with the suffering of innocent Digimon. You won't get away with this. 𝗵𝗄𝗏 tries to get up, but Izuku doesn't let him as he puts his foot on his chest. Izuku prepares a fire punch. All this was for nothing. This thing is useless. Izuku was about to hit 𝗵𝗄𝗏, but suddenly the sword gives off a light glow and 𝗵𝗄𝗏 feels his power increase to gigantic levels. Now we are talking. Izuku attacks 𝗵𝗄𝗏 with a fire punch, but is surprised to see that 𝗵𝗄𝗏 stops the attack without difficulty. Let the game begin. What the? Izuku couldn't react in time when 𝗵𝗄𝗏 punched him hard in the stomach, causing him to fly and crash into a wall, crashing through it and falling to the floor of the next room. His strength increased. Izuku quickly jumps back to avoid 𝗵𝗄𝗏's sword attack, but the moment the sword hits the ground it creates an energy wave that sends Izuku flying and destroys a part of the building. Meanwhile, outside the building, Denki and Suedou have finished defeating all the enemies. It was easier than I thought, Denki said. Let's get inside and help the others, Suedou said. Just then the wall explodes and Izuku flies away and falls to his knees on the ground. Izuku, Suedou said. Are you okay? Yeah, but this guy just got really strong, Izuku said. At that moment, 𝗵𝗄𝗏 comes out of the hole in the building while a dark aura surrounds him. This power is amazing, 𝗵𝗄𝗏 said. Ice Age. Suedou fires an ice beam and freezes 𝗵𝗄𝗏. However, 𝗵𝗄𝗏 breaks away from the ice with ease. That won't be enough to defeat me, 𝗵𝗄𝗏 said as he advances towards the trio. Lightning Blitz. Denki fires an electric beam from his horn at 𝗵𝗄𝗏, but he easily deflects it with his sword. Pathetic, 𝗵𝗄𝗏 said. Flowery Gust / Lobo Kendo. Suddenly Melissa and Hitoshi attack 𝗵𝗄𝗏 from behind. Melissa attacks him with a kick to the neck and Hitoshi with one of her swords. Unfortunately, 𝗵𝗄𝗏 is not affected in the slightest by the attacks. 𝗵𝗄𝗏 grabs Hitoshi by the arm and Melissa by the leg and slams them against each other. Just then Izuku, Denki, and Suedou approach 𝗵𝗄𝗏 with their attacks ready. Pyro Punch / Thunder Fist / Ice Claw. The trio attacks him, but 𝗵𝗄𝗏 blocks it with his sword and then sends them flying by pushing them. The chosen ones quickly regroup in front of 𝗵𝗲𝗄. This guy is strong. I didn't know that a champion-level Digimon could be so strong, Hitoshi said. No, it's the sword. I could fight him easily. But suddenly the sword started to glow and 𝗵𝗲𝗄 became stronger too much, Izuku said. And what is that sword? Melissa asked. There's something familiar about her, but I can't tell what. We'll think about that later. First we must defeat this guy, Izuku said. I highly doubt you can, 𝗵𝗲𝗄 said as he begins to gather a large amount of energy into the sword. My name will become legend when the world finds out that it was I who defeated you. Get ready. It's time to level up, Izuku said. It's time to switch to the beast spirit. The chosen ones prepare to change into the beast spirit, but stop when they see that 𝗵𝗲𝗄, who charged at them, stops dead. What is happening to me? 𝗵𝗲𝗄 thought as his body begins to corrupt, break, and destroy itself. The power is too much. What's going on? Denki asked. I'm not sure, but I think the power was too much for him, Melissa said. I was just thinking the same thing. Even so, don't let your guard down, Izuku said. Damn it, 𝗵𝗲𝗄 said before exploding into a wild, aggressive data purge. Once the data disappears, the chosen ones only see how the sword is the only thing left. So, we won, Denki asked. I think so, we were. Lucky, Hitoshi said. So, what do we do now? Suedou asked. We take evidence, Izuku said as he approaches the sword. Let's hand this over to Kamoshiro for investigation. Izuku takes the sword with his right hand, but a few seconds after taking it, it explodes into data. Or maybe not, Izuku said. Then we lost the evidence, Hitoshi said. We lost the sword, but we finished this business, Izuku said. It's still a victory. Hopefully this will reduce Digimon traffic, Melissa said. I hope so, Izuku said. For now, let's call the digital police to take all these captured Digimon home, then let's report to 𝗎𝗎. The chosen ones continue with their work. However, no one notices that a small fragment of data merges with Izuku. Elsewhere, Kishibe and Suedou are watching everything that happened on the screen. Wow, that was interesting, Kishibe said. It seems that the experiment was a failure, Suedou said. On the contrary, it was a complete success, Kishibe said. But 𝗵𝗲𝗄 couldn't control the power of the sword, Suedou said. That's where you're wrong. The experiment was not to test if any Digimon could withstand the power of the sword. I already knew that no Digimon there could withstand it. It was a test of power, Kishibe said while taking out a card from a machine with the symbol of the crest of pride on it. And it was a total success. So, is it time? Suedou asked. Kishibe smiles. Yes, it's time to put the plan into action, Kishibe said. We will soon reach the pinnacle of human evolution. Back with the chosen ones, the digital police have arrived and are taking care of things. Meanwhile, the chosen ones are talking to 𝗎𝗎 through a holographic projection disc, which projects 𝗎𝗎. So that's what happened, 𝗎𝗎 said. Yes, they were using Digimon to create a sword which can increase the power of its user. Izuku, already back in his human form, said. I tried to take it to give it to Kamoshiro so they could analyze it, but it was destroyed as soon as I grabbed it. It doesn't matter, saving all those Digimon makes me feel calmer, 𝗎𝗎 said. So, what happens now? Hitoshi asked. For now, that's all. I will send what I discovered to Yuko-chan so they can investigate it. When I have something, I will let you know, 𝗎𝗎 said. Understood, Izuku said, ending the communication with 𝗎𝗎. Very well, and you heard him. We are done for today. Let's go to sleep. Without further ado, the chosen ones return to the bedrooms, where everyone was already asleep, and after showering they all go to rest as well. Unknown place. Izuku opens his eyes and looks around. He finds himself in a place he has never been before, and he has been in several strange places. The place is dark. Some data flows in the same direction, but the only thing here is a platform on which Izuku is standing. Alright, now what happened? He thought. At that moment, a light in data bridge turns on and goes in the same direction as the data is directed. I guess there is no other way to go. Following the path, Izuku sees nothing but the same thing. He continues walking for minutes until he finally reaches another platform on which there is a throne, But what surprises Izuku the most is who is sitting on that throne. You. How come you are here? Izuku said with fear and fury at the same time. How is that you are here, Lucemon? Sitting in a black lathe, with a smile on his face, is that enemy who caused so much damage to the human and digital world, the one who actually killed him once, that enemy who was defeated only by uniting the 10 digital spirits. Well, it's been a long time, Izuku Midoriya. Lucemon fall down mode said.